Hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another The Hunter Call of the Wild video. Now today's video is mainly going to be a selection of highlight clips from the past few days. However, I do just need to start off by talking about all of the excitement that's currently going on in the community, as we have had some pretty awesome hints from EW and yeah, it's just so exciting. So I'm going to start off by reading some of the stuff that they posted in the Discord yesterday. Happy Friday, Call of the Wild Hunters. We have some exciting news to finish off the week, including content update incoming, hints, and community plans for November. A great big content and service update will be released next Tuesday across PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Steam. It includes a number of quality improvements and bug fixes, including those mentioned in our community update a couple of weeks ago. However, the most interesting bit out of that for me is the words "a great big," and the fact that "great" is in capital letters does make one think of the great ones, and they have been using the word "great" an awful lot when talking about this update. And also, we did get a hint through the official content creators yesterday, which is that whatever this new content is, you'll be able to find it, or it is related to Hirschfelden and Te Awawarra. Now, if we're thinking about great ones, there are only two species that are exclusively on Hirschfelden and Te Awawarra, those being the fallow deer and the European rabbit. Of course, red deer are also on both of these maps, but they are also on Quattro and Parquet, so why not mention those if it was a great one red deer? Though it could be to throw us off the scent. And would it be a great one European rabbit? I would lean more to it being a great one fallow deer. But we'll talk about that more in a minute. The other thing that was really exciting that got said is this. Apex Connect is coming to Call of the Wild. This is a big first step towards more live in-game functionality and freedoms, like in-game rewards, player reporting, events, multiplayer invites, friends lists, and news updates. Keep your eyes peeled for more information next Tuesday. The moment many of you have been waiting for is also arriving next Tuesday. We're not going to tell you what they're for, but we've added a few new hints for you to find. Don't forget to share your search adventures with us here and on the socials. So there's going to be more clues by the sounds of it as to what this new content is. I am definitely at this point thinking it is a great one, just from everything that's been said, and yeah. Then they finished that off with, last but certainly not least, there are a couple of big community competitions and events coming up this month. Stay tuned for more details. So there's going to be some awesome stuff going on in the community as well. However, the things that really stand out to me in that post is the fact that we are getting some kind of really cool new content coming up, which is going to be absolutely fantastic, and it's definitely something we really need in the community. And also the fact that Apex Connect is coming to Call of the Wild is a really positive step. All of that looks like it could be really, really positive for the game's future and is very pleasing to see. But I reckon it's got to be a new great one. I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comments, but I think we're looking at getting at least a new great one of one species, and just the one that makes the most sense to me is fallow deer. We had whitetail for Leighton, and that was like one of the two first starter maps where you could get a great one. Fallow deer are of course on Hirschfelden, which is one of the other two starter maps. So yeah, it would make sense in my head for it to be fallow deer based off of that. And of course now they are on Te Awawarra as well, as you can see. I've just shot one here. So in my head, I think it's got to be a great one fallow deer. But they could be completely just trying to throw us off the scent with what they've written. They are quite famous for trying to confuse us with their clues and hints. So it's going to be really exciting to see what that is all about. No one has any real idea at this moment in time. It's all speculation. But I do think it could be a great one fallow deer, which if it is, will be absolutely awesome. If you haven't, go and take a look at non-typical fallow deer and some of the world record fallow deer that have been shot. They are absolutely incredible looking. And sticking with the theme here of Te Awawarra, I have just found this. That is a black feral goat. Now, black feral goats are actually a rare. They're the only rare alongside Albino for these guys, and unfortunately this is only a small female, but it is still a rare and one that you really don't see an awful lot, so I figured that this would be a little nice intersection from that previous clip. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think, if there is a new great one coming, or if you think that they're just trying to throw us through a loop and confuse us, or yeah, whatever you think it is, I'd love to hear. But my guess at the minute is Great One Fallow Deer, and it could be Great One Red Deer and they've just decided to put it on just 2 maps. That would be an interesting choice, but it could be, you know, none of us know at the moment, so that's going to be really interesting to see. But then moving on to Hirschfelden, with another tie-in there from what we were just talking about. I have been shooting some geese, trying to get some cash up, and also trying to get the last rare that I need for my trophy lodge. And I was just shooting all of these geese, not really thinking about it, when I spotted this guy. That is a level 5, and I did actually manage to bring him down with a shot there. And when I managed to claim him, he was actually a max weight and max score diamond Canada goose, which was again a really, really cool harvest. That is going straight into the main trophy lodge. That is as big as of a diamond goose as you can get. And yeah, I am really pleased I finally managed to get a max scoring one. Diamond Canada geese for me have been pretty easy to find since they fixed the geese, but this was one of the few trophies that I really specifically wanted, so this was definitely a really big highlight. And sticking with Hirschfelden and goose hunting, as I mentioned, I have found a few more diamonds recently, so there's going to just be a little compilation of me shooting just a few more diamond geese. Okay, and moving back from Hirschfelden back to Te Awawara, and once again in my search for an albino seeker deer, I found yet another level 5. Now, this guy is a guaranteed diamond at 202 to 244, so he's a pretty nice size diamond, even though he isn't actually the big rack. But I managed to get him to go alert there, and I was just waiting for him to clear that tree before I could actually get a shot in him. And you can see there, just managed to get a nice shot into his vitals and drop him on the spot. It's a nice looking seeker, it's not what I'm specifically looking for, but I will always take more diamonds, they're always fantastic to find. And he is a fur type I'd already have, being the black fur type, but he is a diamond at 205.40, which is a pretty good size diamond when 198.70 is diamond. So again, really happy to find this guy. And as my streak with diamond seeker deer has been continuing, so has my streak with finding diamond musk deer. I spotted this guy again while still looking for a big rack diamond reindeer, and that is a beautiful level 3 musk deer, 221 to 275 on his estimate. And again, it's this, not the dark common fur type, it's the more orangey common fur type, which I actually really like. And he's got some pretty big tusks on him, and he did make diamond at 264.50. Another really nice sized diamond musk deer. Not quite as big as the previous one that I shot, that max scoring one, but that is still a really nice find. You don't see an awful lot of diamond musk deer, so I'm always happy to add another one to the trophy lodge. Moving on to a clip from Leighton Lakes now, and not very far out of the lodge I was spotting around and I saw what looked to be a pretty big moose heading into the brush there. So moving around a little bit, tried to get a spot on him, and when I finally did, he was actually a level 5, which is always really cool to find a max level animal so close to a lodge. But he looks really, really big, and it's got a very solid estimate of up to 284 there. And I was just spotting around because whenever I do find something so quickly out of the lodge, I always do check just in case it is a hacked server, because unfortunately recently I have encountered a lot of hacked servers where you come out of the lodge, you see a max level animal, and if you look around for another couple of minutes, you'll see another 10 max level animals, and it's always really unfortunate. But this guy was the only big guy in the area, and he seriously looks impressive. Unfortunately, I lost the spotting outline on him there, and I just couldn't get another spot on him through that brush. However, I did know pretty well where his vitals were going to be, just based off of being able to kind of see where both of his legs were, and based off of where I'd had that spotting outline. And you can see he's put his head down there to actually feed, and I wasn't going to take a shot while he had his head down. However, I decided that as he picked his head up and put it to the side, I would take a shot at his vitals. And you can see there, managed to get a pretty nice shot on him, and he is going to run around a little bit from that shot as it didn't hit heart, so it is just a single lung. But you can see from the spotting here that his health is dropping really, really nicely. And you can see he didn't go far before he actually fell over. And running up to him, that is such an impressive sight. The level 5 moose always look incredible. Now you can see he is pretty uneven with that giant right hand antler and the slightly smaller left antler, but he is a diamond, and a pretty good sized diamond at 281.60. It's a shame he's not even and had both of the right hand looking antlers, because I really do like that rack, but it is still a cool looking moose, and it is definitely something that could happen in real life where you get two antlers that develop slightly differently. It's definitely something that happens all the time in nature where antlers develop differently. But I always love finding any diamond that has really, really big antlers like this. And that ties really nicely onto this next clip from Rancho del Arroyo, where I found this level 5 mule deer at the mule deer hotspot up in the mountains. Now, with that rack, he is a guaranteed diamond, and it actually took me a ridiculously long time to find this guy, because I spooked him on my way in, and then unfortunately I could never find him again. I got knocked out by some mule deer, so I had to go all the way back to the lodge and run all the way back up here. But finally I managed to find him and get a shot on him there. And as you can see with the M1, his health starts dropping pretty quickly, and he doesn't go very far again before collapsing. And I was so relieved to finally get this guy on the ground. It took me far too long to find him after he initially spooked. And there wasn't really anywhere particularly very nice to get a sky background, so I decided to use the animal's fur as a plain background for the harvest screen. And he is a diamond at 324, and that is a pretty nice looking diamond mule deer. Again, he's not perfectly even, but these antlers go together extremely well. And you can see I'm being run over by other mule deer as I'm in this claim screen. But I was so relieved to actually finally get him down. And sticking with level 5 animals, but switching to a different species and a different map, we are now looking at a level 5 plains bison here on Yukon Valley. I'm still trying to find a leucistic plains bison bull. I only seem to be able to find leucistic females, and I really want a bull just to complete that rare collection of males. But I seem to find a lot more level 5s than leucistic males, which is kind of hilarious when level 5 plains bison are not common to come across. But you can see this guy, he just looks so impressive, and he really does stick out. I love the plains bison. They are so cool, and they just look so majestic with how slowly they walk as they shake that absolutely giant head. But as he stopped here, I knew that I should be able to get a long shot into him. and I did manage to get a nice shot into him there, and as he tries to run with the herd, you can see his health is actually dropping. I was a little bit concerned that it might not have penetrated enough, but it definitely got through to a lung, and he didn't even get past these trees before he actually fell over. And you can see the hunting pressure came up there as well, just to make sure he definitely went down. But that is a really impressive looking bison, and he is another diamond plains bison at 235.60 when 221.10 is diamond. So another really nice size diamond plains bison as well. And as I said, I love these guys. I love them. I think they look so good. One of my favourite models in the entire game. And you can see that shot punched through the scapula into the right lung, and he wasn't going to go very far after that. Sticking with Yukon Valley, but moving on to a much different and much smaller animal now, and we are once again on the Yukon River looking at harlequin ducks. And what initially made me come over and investigate this flock further was the fact that I could see a little albino in there. Now, the albino was the most obvious thing to me at the time, but ends up not being actually, for me, the main highlight of what came out of this particular flock of ducks. Albino harlequins and melanistic harlequins are always really cool to find, but I noticed in the same flock there was 2 level 3s. Now, this one had the bigger estimate with the minimum estimate of 7, so I took him out first, and then I waited a few seconds for the flock to calm down before taking out the second level 3. So then all I had to do was wait for them to float in, and picking up the albino first, as she is what we shot first, a 5.30 silver, but for me the score's not too important, the fact that she's albino is what's important. And this is the first level 3 we shot, which was the bigger one. And he's a max weight, max score diamond harlequin. 7.50 when 7.20 is diamond. That is my biggest diamond harlequin duck ever. And it came out of the same flock as another level 3 and an albino. How cool is that? I was really shocked when I picked this guy up. I was expecting him to be 7.2, the same as every other harlequin I end up shooting. But he is a really big duck, and that's why I decided to actually include this clip in the highlights, because I do shoot a good number of level 3 ducks, but they're very rarely max weight and max score, so that is a really nice trophy to get. And then picking up the other level 3, he's about what I expected, a 7.2, actually low trophy rating because he is 0.73 kgs, so he could have been 7.3, but again, 2 diamonds and an albino out of the same flock when one of those diamonds was max weight and max score. That's pretty awesome. And finally, we're once again on Te Awawara, and we are once again at Red Deer drink time because this particular multiplayer server had no Red Deer need zones, so I decided to make it their drink time and come and basically look for rares. And there was a lot of very small red deer, as you can see by that level 4, but I noticed something very cool stood on the other side of the lake. That is a level 7 albino red stag. And he is a very wonky level 7 as well, but that is so cool. Even with the night vision, he stands out just a million miles away. So I very quickly ran round to the other side of the lake, and you can just see him there. What a gorgeous looking stag. Now, he is a very wonky stag, as I mentioned. He has like one of the bigger level 7 antlers and one of the smaller level 7 antlers, but again, similar to what I mentioned with the moose, this is something that could happen in real life. I've seen examples of deer where they have one antler that is significantly more developed than the other. So even though it looks pretty unusual, it is something that isn't too far-fetched. I've seen some really crazy examples of antlers out there. So again, maybe not my favourite rack for this guy, but this is by far the biggest albino I'd ever seen, and managed to finally get a shot into his chest there with the M1, and I was so excited to see this guy on the ground. By far my biggest albino red stag ever, and he looks so gorgeous. That is such a beautiful animal. The albino red deer really do look stunning. And you can see even in the harvest screen he is very wonky, but weirdly the brows kind of line up. They're not too dissimilar. So again, kind of, I'm just looking at it as if basically his right antler developed a lot better than his left antler did. And to me, I don't mind that as much. And he will be replacing a level 5 albino in one of my multi-mounts. So that is a definite upgrade. And he is a gold as well, so massive upgrade in terms of the score. And yeah, what a beautiful animal. And this was honestly one of the biggest highlights for me recently. Because I love big antlers and I love finding rares. So this is a pretty like on the nose animal for what I absolutely love to find. This is a pretty big dream animal for me. So that is going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. As I said, let me know down in the comments what you think the new content is going to be. I will definitely keep you updated with any new clues and stuff that we get. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.